Hello, everyone. I'm Nicolas Macotto, and today I will be interviewing Amy Lacey. Amy Lacey is a longtime journalist and public relations professional who currently works for the Massey Cancer Center at Virginia Commonwealth University. She is a person with a great passion for telling stories. Now here she is with hers. Without further ado, let's get to it. Amy, thank you so much for being here with me to talk about journalism and public relations. I knew you would be the best person to reach out to, not just because we've known each other for a few years, but because you've lived in a lot of places and have had quite a few positions in different organizations.
I have. I knew I wanted to be a journalist from the time that I was in fifth grade, if you can even believe that. I was in a class at school and we were talking about current events. And, it kind of clicked in my head that everything that we knew about was because of what we had seen on the news. And full disclosure, most of my career has been broadcast journalism, and it was from, watching the news whenever I was a kid with my family, and then, in that fifth grade setting, that those kinds of settings, talking about what we learned from the news and what was going on. But then I just really started pursuing everything as early in my life as I could. When I was a freshman in college, after my um, freshman year of college, I got a job at an AM radio station near my hometown where I was able to be a board operator and then also do all of the legal IDs. And then I segued into several TV internships. I worked for NPR in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is where I'm from. I got that job when I was 19. So that was pretty incredible to, be able to cover news and then be on the air on an NPR station at that age. And then I segued into TV as a associate producer first, my senior year of college at one of the Pittsburgh stations. And then I moved across the country from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to Pittsburgh, Kansas, Joplin, Missouri for my first on TV job. And then I was there for 15 months. Then I moved to the coast of North Carolina, where oh, my daughter is coming here. Hello. Um, um, the coast of North Carolina, where I was for 2.5 years. And then I moved to Richmond, where I was a news anchor for the ABC affiliate for 14 and a half years. And then I moved on to VPM as the host and a content producer of Virginia Currents, where I was on for 3 seasons. And then I segued into public relations when that
what
show.
about Virginia?
Yeah, what about Virginia?
Don't forget about Virginia.
Yeah, this is my daughter, everyone. She's also a big part of my life.
Now, to go back to you being in fifth grade and getting a sense of the news, was there a particular story that really hooked you onto it?
It wasn't a particular story, but there was a news anchor in Pittsburgh at the time, and she just retired a few years ago. So that will let you know what kind of a long career she had. But I'd been watching her from the time I was really little. Her name's Sally Wiggin. And I don't know, there was just something about her. I realized that she had a very responsible job, because when we were having these discussions, when we were 10, 11 years old, a lot of what we knew about in the world was because we had heard Sally say it on the 6 o'clock news the night before. So it just kind of clicked in my head that I was always a very altruistic type of a person who wanted to help people and sort of make the world a little bit of a better place. And I realized that I could do that through journalism, much like Sally did.
So, when you choose a story to report on, is there something in particular that pulls you into it?
Yeah, anything where there's a sense of advocacy involved, where you can make sure that you're using your voice as a journalist to give a voice to a person or a cause that needs it. And a lot of times that has to do with, I'm a very big animal person, love animals, always have. And, anytime there's an issue that's maybe raising awareness about an animal cause or children as a mom. That has made me even more of an advocate for children, anything like that. And then I've always just really had an interest in people and their personal stories. And I've met a lot of really interesting people. A few years ago, I was going on a Sunday to get a massage. And when I got there, the massage therapist told me, I'm blind. And I
Whoa.
said, you are? And throughout my massage, first of all, it was the best massage I think I'd ever had in my life. And then secondly, I just learned more about her story. And I said, I have to tell your story. Would you talk with me? And I did. And I loved empowering her through her own stories. I found that it's a lot of people have told me it's almost like therapy whenever they're able to share their stories, what they've done. And it's almost helping me to, I have an opportunity to give them a gift, almost make their experience tangible, that once they have said those words, then you give them the story and they're able to share it with loved ones. And it's really rewarding to be able to do something like that. And it's very empowering to people to share their own experiences. And I love that part of journalism.
So, of course, you were the host of Virginia Currents, but now here you are for VCU's Massey Cancer Center. I had that written down right next to me so I wouldn't get the wording wrong. But what was the most appealing aspect of working for the center?
It is incredible. And it has been the next chapter of my journalism career, because while I work in public relations, I still identify as a journalist and very much feel like an embedded journalist at the Cancer Center, because essentially I'm there to tell the stories of the people and the issues that are happening at the center. And our director, Dr. Rob Wynn, is, I call him a cancer celebrity, because he's very well known in the oncology world and very renowned speaker. And I've been to a few conferences with him now where he has been on panels and he's talking about, all of these social issues that really go into cancer care. And when I'm covering his participation in those types of panels, or if I am, interviewing a patient at the Cancer Center who has been able to look cancer in the eye and say, you didn't get me. And then they don't just survive, they thrive. Telling those types of stories is, it's really incredible. I've loved my journalism career. I've loved every single chapter of it. But this one, I think, is really very, very meaningful, because working at the Cancer Center right now, it's such a important time, because Dr. Wynn is very much, he's an activist in many ways, and in a very positive way, because he doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk. He wants there to be the elimination of cancer and health disparities among many, many groups across Virginia. And in the few years that he's been at Massey, since 2019, December of 2019, the needle is moving in the right direction to not just improve lives, but to save more lives. So it's a wonderful, wonderful role that I have, that I'm able to join those efforts and tell those stories. And I really do enjoy it. I still do a lot of what I would consider to be TV work. I, produce stories that would have been on something like Virginia Currents or a newscast for video. And we do that on social media. And then they play on screens that are in our adult outpatient pavilion, the AOP, while people are waiting for an appointment, or a patient is getting an infusion. So it's wonderful to be able to continue to use my voice in this way.
And I'm sure by covering all those stories of the patients, it leaves you with some sense of hope as well, right?
Oh my goodness. I was recently asked by someone if working in the cancer space is depressing or sad, and I said overwhelmingly no, because a cancer diagnosis is no longer a death diagnosis for most people these days, or for many people these days. What I see people overcome, and just their resilience, the resilience of the human spirit is nothing short of amazing. What people are able to overcome, and just the beautiful lessons sometimes that cancer gives them about making every day count, and letting your loved ones know just how much you appreciate them, and love living life with them. Those are the lessons that they often get from cancer that they've shared with me, that I've been able to implement into my own life.
I can understand why some people may find it overwhelming, but the fact that you have such a positive environment over there has got to be reassuring.
Yeah, and I see what's happening in the labs is
Really?
incredible. I mean, I go into these research labs on campus, and the work that is happening, it's truly a miracle with what they're able to do with cancer now, and the types of treatments, and even moving away from traditional chemotherapies to immunotherapies that are more tailored for a person's own body makeup. So it's really a wonderful time to be working at the Cancer Center in this role that I am, and I feel very fortunate to have the opportunity.
All in all, what would you say is the biggest thing you've learned in your communications career?
Everybody has a story. Everybody has something.
Yeah.
And, if you just engage that person, who's checking you out at Target, um, or your massage therapist, who you find out is blind, or just ask people, how are you? And sometimes an amazing conversation
Yeah.
evolves. Curiosity plus caring about people. I think that's a pretty magical formula when it comes to storytelling and being a journalist.
Once again, many thanks to Amy Lacey for sitting down with me to do this interview. I'm Nicolas Macotto, and I thank you for listening.